Welcome to KGXT, Gen X Talks podcast, live from Central California.
Making plans with the boys. I'm gonna hit the town. Yeah, I'm gonna make some noise.
Doom, doom, doom. If you're ready, I'm ready. Are you ready, honey?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, set, go?
I'm ready, set, go.
Heads down, thumbs up. That was an old game we used to play when we were kids.
Heads up, 7 up.
Is it? I thought it was called heads down, thumbs up. Heads down, thumbs up, isn't it?
I always knew it as heads up, 7 up.
We went to the same school. We were in the same classes. You think we could have called it the same? Oh, welcome to the Gen X Talks podcast, broadcasting from the Loop Studios in Minden, Nevada. I'm here with my current wife.
And my current husband.
No, you see.
Oh, you don't like it when the tables are turned, huh?
It just kind of sounds dumb.
You are my current husband. You never know.
Yeah, I do. I mean, look at me. You're not leaving. You see this right here?
I didn't say I was leaving.
You see that? You're not leaving this. You're not. No, you're not leaving. Look, take a look across the table. You're not leaving this.
You're looking mighty thin there, babe.
Thank you. We'll get to that in a moment, but thank you very much for noticing. I thought it was funny last night. We did the Off the Record with the General, which was a really good show last night, and people are calling in with ghost stories. Like, I didn't know what shadow people were. I'd never heard about shadow people.
I've been thinking about that. We talked about, can we talk about it for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
So some people believe in angels, which I believe in angels, but you have to think, if you believe in angels, there's got to be the opposite of that, correct? Some demonic things or demonic angels.
Yeah.
What if those shadow ones are...
I forgot to tell everybody what time it is.
Oh, my goodness.
10:01 Los Angeles time. I should do that every 20 minutes. Okay.
No, let's not. Say we did.
So let's, if you're saying that the people's stories last night about shadow people could have been demons, then every shadow person's a bad person?
No, I don't know. I mean...
Well, that's what you just said.
Well, Satan was a good angel at one time.
Yeah, so if he appears, is he a shadow because he's a bad angel?
I don't know. I've never.
You just insinuated that all these guys' stories were being stalked by demons.
I don't know. That's where my mind went last night after I got off the thing. I was like, God, that's kind of creepy.
Well, current wife, the studio's coming along. We put up some stuff yesterday. Do you want to talk about that?
No, don't get me. No. Yeah, the egg cartons on the wall.
Yeah, we got some soundproofing going on.
It's starting to become a cave again.
It is. I like
dark.
it. It is. You know what's good, though, is that I can tell the difference in the echo.
Oh, I can hear it, too.
There's still some, but it's dramatically improved.
Yeah.
And did you figure, you don't know where your background is. You have no idea where you're sitting right now. Now, I'm sitting in the studio.
Of course you are.
But you got your green screen.
What am I sitting in?
There are naked men parading behind you as you sit there.
Why can't I be on a beach on a tropical island?
Actually, I was going to put you in the laundry room with loads of laundry.
With a beer in my hand, my feet in the sand. That's what I'd like.
That's not where you are. You are actually in a sound studio today. So when people see this on the video version on Sunday, they'll see you in the sound studio. But for now, yeah, that's where you are. But got you. You want to be on a beach with a beer and your feet in the sand.
Yeah, I would really like that.
Okay, well, we can arrange that.
And you could put me in a bikini too, because on,
yeah, I could do what I want.
ChatGPT, I'll look fabulous.
So before we go wandering too far, we've moved up to, we bought some property in Dayton. We're going to build out there.
Say Dayton, Nevada, because there is a Dayton, Ohio.
Well, why would people think I moved all the way to Ohio? I mean,
well, I've seen people do worse.
All right. Well, we bought some property in Dayton, Nevada, and we're planning on building something at some point in Dayton, Nevada.
Oh, my gosh.
But up until then, we're living in Minden, Nevada. I'll tell you, we've learned some stuff. First of all, I don't know. We brought our bed with us. It's the same two people, you and I, sleeping in the same bed. And I sleep so much better. I can't tell. I don't know why.
Oh, I sleep so much better here.
I don't know what's going on. I think your brother, the Sun Valley Fox, would say, well, the closer to me you get, the further away from our sister you get, the peace and tranquility follows. I think that's what your brother would say. He's full of shit. But anyway, he would still say.
It's quieter here.
Much.
Now, when we first moved to Bakersfield, do you remember how quiet it was?
Oh,
we were out in the middle of
country.
Nowhere, like out on the outskirts of town.
Farmland.
But the town grew around us in 20 plus years. Yeah. And it got really noisy. We got to the point where we were closing all the windows to keep out the sound.
The people who could be buying our house might be listening to this. You might want to shut up a little bit here.
They live in Bakersfield.
Okay, then I guess there's no worries. I'm a little worried. I'm like, what are you doing? Our house is falling apart and it's noisy and it leaks and those suckers that are buying it, and then they're listening.
You're saying all that.
Nope, that sounds like what you're saying.
Unbelievable.
My God, I did like living there. It wasn't a terrible place for me to live. I'm just saying I sleep better here. Good God, woman.
I'm just saying it's a lot noisier and Bakersfield's getting bigger.
Okay, well, if that's all you're saying, we're fine. Now, now I have to edit out all the other shit.
No,
God
you don't.
Damn it. What I was going to say about Minden, not only is it a nice place to sleep, I'm getting grades there. You made a weird observation. You were in the grocery store the other day, and you were saying that you got there early, and you were in the store shopping with other people, but there's no clerks.
No checkout clerk.
Wait a second.
Not till 9 a.m. You have to self-checkout.
That's weird. It's like, yeah, you help yourself. We're not open yet, but you can help yourself. We don't have people here to help you, but you can help yourself.
I do not believe there's any 24-hour grocery stores. That grocery store opens at 7. So from 7 to 9, you have to self-checkout, whether you have 2 items or 50 items.
Yeah, it just, when you came back and told me that, I was like, that's really weird that there, you said everybody's talking to each other by name. All the
clerks that were around,
you said there were no clerks.
Well, I meant like people working. What would you call them?
I don't know.
Stock boys, stock ladies, stock men. I mean, they were stocking the shelves.
People that work at the grocery store attendants, if you please.
Okay, Mr. Grammar Nazi. Holy mackerel.
So they all knew the customers by name, and everybody's saying good morning and hello.
And how's your sister? And how's the other Linda? And I was like, that is amazing. I love it.
And then you go to check out, and you're like, there's no clerks. You're like, oh yeah, just do it yourself. Which
isn't my favorite, but because there was less people in there and the town's a lot slower, people don't care.
No, but it just seems odd. It's like you can have self-checkout. But in California, when you're open for business, there is someone there to help you. They don't just point and go, good luck. It's up at the front. We're not open yet. You're lucky we're even letting you in here. We didn't open until 9.
If you want to come this early in the morning,
it's on you.
The other thing around here is there's quite a few places that are closed on Sundays, which I'm loving.
Yeah, you love. Well, you've always complained about that since we were kids. When we grew up, we got to be in our 20s, and you bitched about that, saying, I liked it when stores were closed on Sunday. I mean, it's nice to be able to go to a gas station and get a gallon of milk if you need to.
Store on limited hours.
Yeah, but you liked that people took the day off.
Yes.
On family time.
Stay home. Visit with family. We used to do family barbecue on that day.
I get it, and it's good to have some things if you need something in a pinch. But I agree with you. And up here, there's a lot of places that just quietly put a sign on their door and say, hey, we're closed on Sunday. We're spending time with our family. We're going to church. We're hanging out, and that's it. So
that's great. I love it.
First yawn of the day.
Sorry. Hey, I just walked 1.5 miles. Not that it's a long time.
Is this your excuse? Because it used to be, it's the studio. I'm only yawning because I'm out here in this studio. And now you're saying it in this studio. So what? Maybe it's just you, perhaps.
Maybe it's you.
What? What are you talking about? How could it be me? I don't make you yawn.
Oh my
God. I'm not boring.
So the other thing I noticed here in Minden is age is not a factor to have a job here. Lots of older people have jobs.
I've seen that. Yeah. There's people over 40 and even up to mid 50s working. Just like you'd have kids work. They don't care. They get up. They're, pushing carts and they're stocking shelves and they're helping you.
We saw it at the grocery store. We saw it at Tractor Supply. I've seen it at Home Depot.
I went in the gas station the other day to get something, and I saw a guy, had to have been older than me, maybe 60, mopping the floor, just talking away.
I think it's great.
Got the job and go.
Probably, who knows? Maybe they work part-time and maybe 3 days a week, and that just gets them out of the house.
None of them seemed upset that they are working. You go to California and you can definitely spot people that are like, God damn, I got to help make my paycheck and got to pay my rent and go home. I haven't run into, and there probably is. I'm sure out here there is, but I haven't run into one yet. Everybody just is appreciative they have a job. They like doing what they're doing. I don't know.
Yeah,
it just seems that way.
I totally agree. I think it's wonderful, and everybody's smiling and happy. So
we had our first 4th of July outside of California in forever.
Oh man, I can't even remember. Or even our house. We didn't even have it.
No, there's 2 yawns.
Damn. Even at our house, we used to host it.
Yeah. And we went from big 4th of July barbecues, friends, family, all the kids inviting their friends, big barbecue, big pool party. Then we all went out because we had a cul-de-sac.
Right.
And at the cul-de-sac, no cars are going by.
In Kern County, fireworks were still legal.
Yeah. So, we went from 100 and some people at our house down to 0.
That's right.
This last few years, we don't have anybody over. We don't plan a barbecue. Briggs takes off. Jade takes off. They do stuff with their friends. And we just put earmuffs over the dog's ears and turn up the TV. That was it.
The other thing is it's really hard, fireworks and barbecues in 105, 110 degree heat when it doesn't cool off at night.
Yeah, and you have to wait until it's 9 o'clock at night before it's dark. So now you're exhausted. It's still 100 degrees outside. Yeah, that's a deal.
But it's okay. But we had a nice adult 4th of July this year.
Well, we received an invitation.
That's odd.
We haven't. I don't think we've received an invitation to go someplace.
I didn't think anybody would want us over.
Well, there is that factor too. I think we did get an invitation from the Sun Valley Fox and St. Donna. They were going to have some friends over to the Foxhole and asked us if we wanted to go. I think more they wanted you there, and they put up with me to get you. Like, no.
Oh, you finally figured that out after all these years.
I'm thinking so.
Well,
yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Good.
So no fireworks. In fact, while we were over there sitting out back on a big, beautiful, lovely deck, everybody gathered around. We're drinking Sun Valley Fox, working the grill. It was one of the best times.
Temperature was perfect.
Slight breeze, and I didn't hear or see one single firework.
Nope.
And they say, well, they're outlawed in Douglas County. Yeah, guess what? They're outlawed in Kern County now, too.
The illegal ones.
And they're still doing them. They're so loud you can't see straight. So that was nice. Now, before we go past the fireworks, there's some buttes, would you say? Or bluffs? What's the difference between a butte and a bluff?
I don't know. You brought that up. I have no idea.
I think
up in Oregon was a...
Well, those are buttes.
Those are buttes.
They look like one boob in the middle of town. Just one grassy knoll. They called it a butte.
Okay.
So what's a bluff then? Is that something you can go to the top of? It's like a ridge? You look over the bluffs?
I guess so. I'm sure somebody will correct you.
Does many buttes make a bluff? I'm asking.
My goodness. Let's stop the program and find out what it is.
Okay, so the bluffs that are to the south of the Foxhole, you said that they used to ride quads up there and then just watch the fireworks way off in the distance in Carson City, because it is a little bit of ways.
The Sun Valley Fox said that a lot of the neighborhood people go up there every year.
I got to say, I didn't hear one quad go down the street.
How would you? You drank so much and we were laughing so loud. How would you hear?
Easy, Haas. I have keen senses. I'm like a Vulcan. Oh. Okay? I hear things. Oh, I hear things. You hear that? No, you didn't hear it. I did.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
So I'm just saying I didn't know about that. So, not doing it. We didn't. No family, no barbecues, no kids, no nothing. We literally went from having over 100 people there and music and just these big, huge parties down to just you and I and the dogs. There's 3. You're fighting back your third. Yawn, look at her. Biting her tongue. She's like, oh, I can't do it.
Leave me alone. You don't have to point it out.
Well, they can't see you like I can.
But they will.
I'm just trying to help. All right.
So if we didn't have video...
What? You kicked the shit out of me?
Nobody would see it.
So we met some new and interesting people.
Oh, they were all wonderful.
Oh, it was great. Neighbors, yeah.
Neighbors across the way and neighbors next door.
Sun Valley Fox has great neighbors.
They are fabulous neighbors.
Guy's name was Chuck, weightlifter guy, owned gymnasiums, used to live at Tahoe, trained football players and weightlifters.
Weightlift.
Oh, yeah, gold medal guy, like trophies and stuff.
Yeah.
And these days, he looks like Mike Ermtrout from Breaking Bad. He looks like Mike, the cleaner, the fixer.
And the funny thing about it is he never saw Breaking Bad, so he had no idea what
I'm talking about. But I mean, I'm staring at this guy like, I love you, man. I love everything you do, Mike. He's like, my name's Chuck. No, your name's Mike Ehrentraut. And you drive an 85, Dodge Dynasty, and it's brown. Don't you know?
You wanted him to be Mike.
He would, and so I think he's going to go check it out, at least try to watch some of it. But that guy had some stories. That guy had some great stories. And then another neighbor, his name's Mike, and I called him.
His name's Mike.
His real name's Mike, right? And we called him Dano because or Short Round. He was so drinking so much. This guy
was trying to keep up with you.
Well, good luck.
Nobody can outdrink you.
It's not easy.
Oh, a couple people have tried.
So he's so drunk that I go, you know what? I should call you Short Round from Indiana Jones, that little, I don't know, Japanese Asian kid. And he grabs my hat, my Dodger hat. This guy, Mike, grabs my Dodger hat and goes, oh, Mr. Jones. He did it perfectly. Don't go there. He said every line from the movie perfectly. Oh, Mr. Jones, that lady crazy. Don't go that way. Don't get in the car, Mr. Jones. And every now and then he grabbed my hat and just go down.
Oh, my gosh. We
should have filmed that. It was so funny. Sun Valley Fox was in rare form. Mm-hmm. He's chiming in. Now, Chuck's wife, Jenny, she was there, and I have to call her. That's my Jenny.
Yeah, she did.
I like her. She's my Jenny. She's not Jenny with a J-E. No, my Jenny's with a G-I. Don't call her Virginia. She gets mad. But you can call her Jenny. All her friends call her Jenny, so I did too. Me and Jenny sat between Steve and Mike, and
Steve and Mike.
Steve and Mike. No, Chuck and Mike.
Wow.
Okay, look, it's been a long time. It's been hours.
Hopefully that's not her first husband's name, Steve.
I can't even talk about that story. She had a ghost story. You should get her on the air about her ghost story. So anyway, St. Donna and Ginny were just laughing so hard. Ginny said the next day, she goes, my stomach still hurts.
Mine. By the time we left, I was hurting.
That was, there's a fourth yawn. You're fighting back the fourth yawn.
You know what? If you don't shut your mouth,
what
I'm going to come across this table.
Whoa, I'd like to see that.
I'm going to adjust your Los Angeles Dodgers hat. Couldn't even say that with a straight face.
So we laughed and told stories and drank for so long. And finally, when I went to see the Sun Valley Fox the next day, he goes, I couldn't drink. I had to stop. Hold on.
Tell him who had to drive you home.
You volunteered to drive me home.
You couldn't drive home.
I would have been just fine.
No.
So, but that comes after the story anyway. I wouldn't tell the driving home story while I'm still telling what's going on.
You said about the next day. You were talking about the next day.
Oh yeah, I was. That's right. Yeah, I guess I kind of skipped that part.
Yeah. You kind of did.
Don't get all snooty. You got a snooty look. See that?
Yeah. It's a snooty look.
It's very unbecoming.
Don't start correcting me. I heard where the story was going.
Sun Valley Fox said I had to stop drinking. He was texting Mike Short Round, Don Ho. He looks like Don Ho. Texting him. The guy never came out of his house the next day.
He said he wasn't going to come out till Monday. That's what he said, and that was Friday.
He didn't come out at all the next day. They never saw him. Chuck was up and walking around. Ginny's was walking around. You and I were, but boy, that was a fun night. We even have some drunk pictures to prove it because people started sending me pictures, and I didn't realize how much we were laughing as a group.
Oh, it was great. And you know what? That started at 4, and we were done by 9. Like, we left about 9:30. It wasn't a late night.
No, but it was 5 hours of drinking. That was enough for me.
It was so much fun. We had a blast. We had so much fun.
We thank them for the invite. Not sure if we'll ever be invited back again. We're telling stories and saying things, but it was a lot of fun. So that's how the 4th of July went. And I was up the next morning doing my thing, walking around. And, when you drink as much as I do and you don't get a hangover and people see you the next day, that's what they do. They shake their head and go, God, how's that guy even walking?
You've never had a hangover.
And I'm just chipper. I'm like, hey, how's it going, buddy? Got some pancakes?
I hate you.
That's pancakes and sausage. Let's go. Clapping your hands and moving along. All right.
He never gets sick.
Now, listen, before you get mad, because I know you're going to say something. I know you're going to run your mouth and you're going to start bad-mouthing me to all my friends about the shower door. But before you do, I want to tell you that there was a reason. I was trying to invent something, but let me back up and tell you.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
I had a dream.
Yep.
Now,
it always starts with a dream.
I had a dream that led to the shower and soap.
Whoa, this is a PG rated show.
Okay.
Keep it in your pants, man. Keep it in your pants.
So this dream was so clear. I remembered it all the way. Usually my dreams with most people, you start to forget them quickly as you wake up. This one stuck with me. And I think it was because of the importance of the topic of the dream. So follow. And I haven't told you this dream yet.
No. All right. I'm waiting. You see me? I'm
I know.
Ears.
You've got that skeptical look. You got the finger on the side of your head like, I don't believe a word you're saying. Okay. So my dream was that I was eating tacos.
Okay.
Now, I was eating your tacos. That's not a sexual reference. I was just eating tacos you'd made.
Was it Taco Tuesday?
It was. I don't know what day of the week my dream was, but I was eating your tacos, and I poured some hot sauce on the taco, pepper plant hot sauce on the taco. As I was eating the first taco, some of the hot sauce spilled onto the second taco that was on the plate.
Okay.
No big deal. I finished the first taco. I went to grab the second taco. I grabbed the second taco. I went to put sauce on it, and I wasn't allowed to.
Who said you weren't allowed to?
This is where the dream gets weird.
All your dreams are weird.
You know what? No, it's not true.
Yes, they are.
So in my dream, I had to submit my taco to the machine that tilted the bottle. There was an AI that tilts the bottle and puts hot sauce into your taco, and I just had to hold it there. And because I had spilled hot sauce onto the outside of the taco from the first taco, the machine said, you've already got sauce. You don't need any sauce. And I said, well, I spilled this sauce onto my taco. You didn't pour this. And the AI machine sitting here next to me says, you've already received your hot sauce.
Your allotted amount?
Yeah, you can't have any more. And I said, how do you know? And the machine said, I was able to register hot sauce on that second taco. I said, and I'm arguing with the machine. I said, so you're smart enough to know. You're smart enough to know that there's hot sauce on the taco, but you're so stupid you don't realize you didn't pour it out of the bottle. If you're smart enough to know there's hot sauce on there, you should be smart enough to know you didn't tilt the bottle for me twice. Give me my fucking hot sauce.
You are arguing with an AI robot
about hot sauce. About hot sauce on the tacos. And it would not until, you know what I did is I started eating the sides of the taco where the hot sauce were from the outside, like I was chewing it away.
Okay.
Until there was no more hot sauce.
Okay.
Then I held the taco half eaten back up to the machine and I said, do you register any hot sauce now? And the machine said, no, I don't. I said, can I have some fucking hot sauce on my taco? The machine said, yes, you can. And then it tilted and it gave me my hot sauce. Okay. That was the dream.
That is the weirdest dream ever. Why didn't you just go to the refrigerator and go grab hot sauce and put it on your taco?
There was an AI taco sauce dispenser for a reason, and I was complying.
Okay, what does this have to do with my shower door?
Okay, I was trying to draw out how that would work.
Oh my gosh, that took us like 20 minutes.
I don't have an AI that could run it, so I was thinking mechanically, how could you have something that could scan? Like, you put the taco under the thing, it scans it.
Can I hear that again?
Okay. And you put the taco under the machine, it scans it. There's no hot sauce, and then the bottle tilts, and you, as the sauce comes out, you pull the taco slowly back out of the machine to evenly distribute the sauce.
Goodness.
I was drawing that out. I was trying to figure a way without using AI, because then there's no confusion, where we could just build a taco sauce dispenser. Now, think of the applications. It's not just for tacos. You could do that for ketchup on a hot dog.
Don't they have that at Sam's Club where you just push down the stopper and you just run your hot dog?
Yeah. That's
you're eliminating the one hand that is pushing down on the thing?
That's what I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying to say there's no real manual labor anymore. The machine does it for you. And then, you're not grasping this because if you grasped it, you'd be all for it. You'd even say, you know what? When we sell our house, you can take some of that money and invest in this invention. That's what you'd be saying if you got it.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
So I'm just saying that's what was all over the shower was me trying to work out. I got pretty close. Switches and relays and a conveyor belt that moves back and forth on a servo.
Really sounds expensive.
Well, sure, the first one would be, yeah, but if you make 1 million of them, the cost goes way down in production. We outsource it to like Bangladesh or something where they can make them. Little kids in sweatshops can start building these things. We could even have a cool 50s name for it, like Poromatic.
Everything was Omatic.
Everything was Omatic.
Okay.
That was my dream. That's what the shower door was. I feel confident that now you should not be upset because
I'm still upset.
No, you can't be upset.
It's not about the shower door.
What are you upset about now?
Well, let's see.
Come on, you're going to find something, aren't you?
As of this morning, it's about your desk that you had to have, the one upstairs, the big ass heavy desk that's been beat to shit.
I love my desk.
That should have been thrown in the trash in Bakersfield.
No.
But no, we had to haul this piece of shit down the stairs into the trailer, drive it all the way to Nevada.
Okay.
Get it into the house, which was a bitch.
Yeah.
Put it into the room.
I know, yeah.
And then this morning you wake up and do what?
Okay, this is okay. Listen, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to submit this story as
you sure have been going to court a lot.
As evidence on behalf of the defendant. I'm the defendant in this story. And my wife is submitting to you that this big, heavy desk had to be disassembled.
I can't live without it. I have to have it. I got to have my chair. There's only so many places that I can sit in the house.
I know.
I need this desk.
Yes.
And inside this desk was shit. On the top of the desk was shit.
Okay.
I packed it all up.
You know what? I'm becoming a little bit offended by your delicate nature here. I'm letting you know. You're straying off course for a woman of your...
Well, your current wife does not have a delicate nature.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I submit to you that she had this cause you have to disassemble it, and it goes to 30 pieces, and it weighs 3,000 pounds.
30 pieces.
And we got to take it all the way back up here, and we reassemble it, put it back in the room. It's a pain in the ass, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I will agree to all of that. I won't even argue any of that's true. It was a pain in the ass to move it and get it where it is. And I will also stipulate to the jury that I was the driving force that I had to have it. But what you're not focused on, as usual, is the fact that I got to a point where I said, you know what? I don't need that anymore. We can take it out of the room, the more room in the room for your shit. We can get rid of it. More room in storage. I finally crossed the line. It's like an alcoholic who finally admits he doesn't need to have a drink, and you're bitching that I drank for 20 years. Let's focus on that the alcoholic no longer wants to drink. That's the good day.
So that means I get a sledgehammer and I need to bang the desk into pieces.
No.
Let's make them toothpick.
No.
Let's make it into toothpick.
No, but I'm saying that even though we have to disassemble and lift and bend and contort and move. Yeah, I got that. But this is a good story, not a bad story.
Let's get rid of it.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury will come back and go, you know what? Motion denied. No toothpicks. This man's a hero for self-realizing the desk.
No, the jury needs to come back and allow me to take a sledgehammer to it and throw it into the dump.
If I'm admitting I don't need it, there's no sentencing. I don't get sentenced and punished by turning it into toothpicks. No, that's not what you do.
It's going to take up room in the storage that we don't need, that we don't have. That should be for other stuff.
It's moments like this.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Why don't you move your desk out into the garage so that you can sit at this desk that you absolutely love and cherish and care for and want to hold on to it forever and work on that desk till it falls apart?
You're mocking me, aren't you? Well, you're mocking me, aren't you? I can tell.
I'll take it the way you want. But you can have a little work area.
But then you're going to bitch at me. I've got a work area.
You say you don't want to stand very much.
There is so little.
I'm offering the opportunity for you to sit and work.
How? Thank you for being so gracious. There is so little room in this garage that you already can't park in there.
I'm a little pissed about that.
Yeah, you can be angry at that too. But when I get all the way done, if I put that in there, there'll really be no place to park.
So, jury, I want to know if it is unlawful for me to take a hole saw and drill holes into the general's desk.
Yeah, totally unlawful. Can't do it. You'll go to jail. And you'll be divorced, so don't do that.
Why? Because you did it to my dining room table.
Okay, that was our dining room table?
No, it really wasn't. No, it really wasn't.
Well, we ended up buying you a new desk, a new table. So you're going to get me a new desk?
When we get the new house, you may get a new desk.
For God's sakes. Here we go. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, now you can see she's absolutely batshit crazy. There's not a single bone in her body that makes any sense.
No, I think it's pretty logical.
Oh, my God.
To have a desk and not use it is illogical. As Spock.
I told you I was part Vulcan. But
well, then you should understand that saying.
What about nostalgia? You know, how about that? Speaking about moving, counting on Christine to come through here, Christine Matlock, and she's failing miserably. I asked her for two things. I said, hey, I need a couple workers. She was good with workers. Now the workers can't show up. I called her last night. I said, hey, I need a picture, a specific picture of you doing something. Here it is, 10:30 in the morning the next day. No picture. I don't know what's going on here. But that's neither here nor there because could you tell them that I did something great with this move and moving? How awesome I am?
Which part?
Yeah, I know. There's many to choose from. Let me narrow it down.
I just want to make sure I choose the right one.
Yeah, that is important. You know,
all the other ones were so awful.
There's so many great stories. You want to pick the right great stories. I drove
13 weeks of moving.
Okay, now see, that's called pacing yourself. Don't you always say pace yourself? Doesn't Dr. McDreamy say pace yourself? Moving out of state.
I've never heard him say pace yourself.
Moving out of state is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Don't you forget that. Okay.
I'd rather it be a sprint. But go ahead.
So I decided we had to get some stuff out of the garage because down in there Briggs was like, you know your really expensive tools. I think I left them in boxes in the garage. And I'm like, you fucking did not. So I leave at 6 a.m. Briggs is in his truck. I'm in our truck. Drive all the way down. We load up the stuff in the back of the truck. Meet with the realtor, do some watering. I drive all the way back. I made it down and back in one day. A year ago, I could not have done that.
That is correct.
A year ago, about 5, 6, 7 hours in the truck, my legs are done. My left knee was definitely done. Couldn't even. Sarah, sometimes
you were whining, complaining, getting out of the truck, kicking the ground, kicking the tires.
Here we go. Why are you going to say all that? Why can't you just say, well, honey, yes, a year ago you really had to tough it out. It was really hard on you back then. You know, your knees were killing you.
No, that's not how it
But you were
was.
strong and you made it and you did it. No, you made me out to be like a whiny little fucking baby in front of all my friends. I got friends listening to this program.
Bitch.
Wow. Well, what does that make you if you married a little bitch? Well, don't bite your tongue now.
I own you, bitch. I'm your owner.
So on my way back, I was tired. I was falling asleep, but I stayed awake. And Google tried to take me a new way.
I love this. Google tried to take you a new way.
You think I would just wander off the beaten path? I know where I'm going.
Yes, you always do.
So
No. Let me put a little side note in there. When we're driving somewhere and he decides to go off the reservation somewhere, he'll just turn and then go, figure out where we're at. And we're already like 20 miles down the road before I realize, oh my gosh, we're going somewhere different.
I do like exploring. When there's a new direction, sometimes I just go. Yeah.
So what does this little boy do? He has to call his mommy to get him so he doesn't get lost.
That is not what happened. So Google takes me a different way. I'm in the middle of Merced and I hang a right. I'm heading east. But then it was 5 miles to this highway. Then 1.5 miles to this road, 3 miles to that road. I'm like, holy shit, this is just zigzag. I mean, it felt like I was playing hopscotch trying to drive here. I even went across a one-way bridge that barely fit the truck. This one-way bridge was
Any other day, that would be
definitely horse and buggy.
Yes.
That's what this one-way bridge was, horse and buggy era.
Okay.
And I barely fit, so I'll go across it. Finally, I'm like,
When did you decide to call me?
Here's when I decided to call you. I got on the 108, and I said,
I never even heard of the 108.
I'm done. Neither did I, but I was on it. I said, I'm done with all this Google shit. This thing is left, right, 20 miles an hour, left, right. I'm fucking done. Does the 108 go all the way through to the 395? Now I'm back to straight shotting it. I'm like 108, 395,
Now,
home.
I want you guys to note again, he doesn't pull off on the side of the road. He just stays on the 108 and is asking me these questions. And then I have to figure out where he is.
Yeah.
And then try to figure out if he hasn't passed somewhere that he's already supposed to turn to go. But he keeps going on the 108.
Yeah, I'm 70 miles an hour. I'm still going. Just figure out if I go in a straight line, am I going to get there? And you're like, well, yeah, it goes to the 385, but it's going to be really far away. Now, I can tell by the tone of your voice, you have no fucking clue if it's really far away. If you would have said, I'm looking at a map, and if you take the 108, not only does it go east like you want, but it also goes very far south. You're backtracking. It's going to take you 2.5 hours. But that's not what you said. All you said was, well, you don't want to do that.
You have to go up over the Sierras. That's what I didn't know.
I have to do that on every road.
But I didn't know where the 108 was going to take you. God. You're saying it's a 2-lane highway. Yeah. For all I know, by the time you got up to 6,000 feet, it might be right on the edge of a cliff on the Sierras to get over. Anyways, I told you it ended in Bridgeport somewhere.
Yeah. Your attitude was you had just let mama help you. Let mama get you home. Now you just sit there.
I was getting ready to hang up and go, you know what? Figure it out, big boy.
I will tell you, driving back, because one of the reasons, I'll tell you the only thing that kept me awake. I was having trouble staying awake at first, like for the middle of the day. I had a 2-hour period. I was struggling with it, but you were on the phone with me when we were just talking about regular stuff. Sleep was gone. I was like I was sitting at the kitchen table with you. That's how natural it felt. And I was like, holy shit, I'm not tired. This is great.
Like it was sitting next to you in the truck.
That's what I'm saying. It worked out great. And I will say this, I saw some towns.
I took you away.
And some places that I would have never ventured. I probably would have never seen them.
I got you off the 108 and got you to go
49?
Northeast a little bit. Yeah. I don't remember what it was. But I took you through Angels Camp, California.
I think that was on the 49, I think.
Okay, I can't remember. But anyways, I got you. I said you're going to hit Angels Camp.
That's what I want to talk about. Because when
my lead-in. When
I got to Angels Camp, I mean, I've seen a lot of quaint towns. I really have. I don't know if I could describe this accurately. Imagine pretty much a 2-lane main street.
It's like going back in time, you said.
Where the buildings are built right up to the curb almost. They were 2 stories tall. They all kind of matched. I mean, for half a mile. And they had balconies in the front of them, like wooden sidewalks on the bottom.
You probably thought you were on a dirt road with
wooden sidewalks on the second story, all hanging over the street, and then monstrous like oak trees everywhere, hanging over the buildings, hanging over the streets. So there's this canopy of trees, and you feel like if it wasn't for the pavement in the road, you look like you're in the Old West.
You're waiting for horses and
absolutely it looked like that. And American flags everywhere, and this quaint little town. I remember I told you, write down the name of this town, Angels Camp. And now I got to go back.
Yeah,
I just need to drive there. It's a little bit of a drive.
And what did the Sun Valley Fox tell you? That's where the bullfrog jumping competition is every year.
He knew that. He goes, the Angels Camp.
You know what they're famous for?
Let me tell you about Angels Camp. I lived there the same time Mark Twain did, and we used to go down. Boy, Mark Twain and I used to love watching the bullfrog jumping contest. And I go, what's that? He goes, well, it's what Angels Camp is noted for, bullfrog jumping. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Now, you know how I know he was serious about this?
He didn't crack a smile.
And he wasn't drinking.
No.
It wasn't a drunk.
It's very serious.
Yeah, it wasn't a Sun Valley Fox drunk smiling story.
And then St. Donna jumps in and goes, "Oh, there's some really nice places to stay there."
Yeah,
like they both were there.
Yeah, well, now you look at St. Donna and she's so beautiful. You'd never think that she was as old as the Sun Valley Fox.
No.
But, apparently there might be some lineage there because she's like, there's some nice places to stay. Oh, the best place to stay in Angels Camp closed down in 1922. So, even though she looks like she's 38 years old, and the Sun Valley Fox looks like he's 138 years old.
Right.
There's some differences there, but they both were very familiar. It's kind of fun to talk to somebody who's been on those excursions before you, because their eyes kind of light up. Like you could tell your brother hadn't talked about Angels Camp since he was there in the 60s. And now he's like, hey, let me tell you about Angels. I've been storing this information for 50 years and I'm ready to, it's all locked away. I just had to bring it up.
Didn't I say it was like 2 hours from where we are right now?
I think so.
I think that's what it it was when I looked it up?
I'm going back. I have to, and I want to take you, and I want to walk through the stores. I want to get a beer in one of the saloons or a shot of whiskey, and I want to sit there and talk to those people because there's local yokels, and you know what the yokel locals do?
What?
They yoggle doggle. That's a real term.
Okay. I believe you.
Just want to yoggle doggle with the guy. Why? Because you're a yokel local? Yes, I am.
So after you visited that town, I said, okay, the next town you're going to come to is San Andreas. Now, anybody that has California history knows San Andreas is a really bad word.
That's not a good, I would not, no.
I would not want to live in San Andreas, California.
The city council should change the name to anything.
I held my breath until you got through it. I'm like, this isn't good. This isn't good at all.
Another quaint little town. The one that really was caught my eye for the brief, literally one stoplight. And you said, where are you? And I said, I don't know. I kind of drove up this butte, up this hill. There's a traffic light at the top. There's 7 buildings, and you go through the light. Now you're going down the other side of the hill. And the name of the town was something hill, like Echeverry Hill or something. I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense because you looked on the map. You're like, oh, you're in Lakota's,
I don't remember what
Lakota's Hill. And I go, well, that's a town that is aptly named, I'll tell you. It's close. Yeah, that's closer than what I was guessing.
I don't remember.
Anyway, so I did work my way back to the 88, and then you slammed the phone down. You said, do you know where you are now? I go, yep, click. At
the start of this whole adventure of him, he told me he was getting tired. I said, okay, if you could just get to the 88, there's this big Indian casino, which is like about an hour and a half. If you get to that location, you know you have an hour and a half left to get to our house.
Right.
I said, just pull off there. It's air conditioned. You can walk around, grab something to eat, gamble maybe a little, just kind of get out of the car.
Right.
That's what you were shooting for. But we didn't get there.
No, we missed that by a long ways.
So you once you got to the 88, you bypassed that casino, I was done.
Once I got to Jackson, which is right at that, it's a left turn, hard left turn on the 88. Once I got to Jackson, I knew how far and how long to get home because that's the way we always go. But I was an hour and a half late getting to Jackson.
Yes, you were.
I was way behind schedule. So the cool part was that I got here and I made it.
You did.
And I'm like,
in one day.
I made it there and back in one day.
You were in deep trouble.
Yeah.
Not with me.
No.
Not with me.
No. I just texted your brother and I'm all proud and said, hey, no, I texted him on the way. I said, hey, I'm on the 88. I just crossed over into Nevada, just crossed the state line. I did it. That's what I wrote. And because, I'm in the flat part, I'm just minutes away from the house. And he writes back, good, glad you're safe. Don't do that again. No, now he always finishes his text message with, hey, brother, how's it going? And we'll talk to you soon. And then not that time. Nope. Not even a little bit.
Nope. There was no love in that message.
Not a bit. And then when I talked to St. Donna in person, I said, yeah, Joe lectured me. She goes, oh, good. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, the next day you got it face to face.
I was like, okay.
Big brother said, absolutely
don't do that again. I was like, okay, I won't do that again.
Yes, you will.
Well,
why are you going to lie?
We have to go down and get the cars out of there, and I don't want to spend the night every time I got to go get a car.
I know, but you are. But now it's going to make you slower. You weren't dragging a trailer on that trip.
Well, I'm also not going to follow Google next time either. I'm going to just come.
You would think.
Yeah. Google's so smart. How come it gets lost every time?
Oh, really?
All right.
It's more like the general gets lost, but whatever. Good times.
That was something, I'll tell you.
I had if anybody cares, if anybody wants to know, while he was gone all day, I had a wonderfully quiet, beautiful day. Both of them were gone all day. The dogs and I.
You missed me. Admit it. You had a hard time.
Bought some lunch, worked in the Gen X Talks office, got a lot of work done.
No, you pined away from me. You did.
I worked in the office. I kept myself busy. It was quiet, had music going. It was beautiful.
So just to be fair about that too, Briggs and I drove down together, separate trucks. He crashed out and then came back the next day. I was figuring I was going to have to call him around 8 o'clock in the morning. Get up, go load up your truck with stuff from the garage. Get on the road. 6:15 in the morning.
Yes.
He'd already been to the house. He'd already loaded up his truck. He'd already fueled up and got breakfast and was on the road at 6:15. Yeah. Now, this is a kid who a year ago, I thought was never going to make it in the world's going to live with me forever because he's so fucking lazy. And he's doing this these are the things that you look for as a dad, that he turns corners. You're like, holy shit, well done. I mean, you can teach those things, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Hey, he was doing it.
Shout out to Addie. Addie is Brigger's girlfriend, for those of you that don't know, and their family offered him to stay at their house. So a shout out to that family to have taken him in for the night,
very nice,
feeding him and giving him a place to stay so he can come home. And also Addie enjoyed it because she hadn't seen him for a couple weeks. So that was really nice for him to go down there and hang out.
He's going to like going back down there to help with the cars because he gets to see his girlfriend.
Yes.
And if he's going to move things for us, we pay for his gas and his food. That way he doesn't have to spend his own money to see his chick, which is a big thing when you're 19 and broke.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Moving on.
Yeah, and are you going to give an update on your weight loss, big boy?
Real quick, I gained a pound.
Why?
Yesterday morning. Why?
You're sitting too much.
Oh, for God's sakes. You know what? You know what I had to eat the entire day that I drove down there and back? You gave me 2 yogurts before I left for California. All the way down and all the way back, I had 4 Smart Waters. I had a bag of gluten-free pretzels and 2 bags of beef jerky. That's it.
Sounds like a plan, man.
So how did I gain weight? I gained a pound. Now, today, I lost 1.5 pounds, so I'm a half under from when I made myself the other day.
Would you stop weighing yourself every day?
No, I don't weigh. I don't weigh myself every day. Anyway, I'm a little under today, but I couldn't believe it. I didn't eat anything on that trip. And they say NASCAR drivers will lose 5 pounds racing a NASCAR race because it's so, it's physical and it's intense. So I figured.
Key word, physical.
Yeah. Okay, so I was speeding. I was driving fast and I wasn't eating anything. I don't know. I'm just telling you, I was very disappointed. I was sorely vexed over that whole situation, but I did lose I gained 1 pound, but I lost 1.5 pounds. So now I'm a half a pound.
You know how many pounds you'll lose if you get up and walk around more? You
know what? I'm going to walk over there and put my foot up your ass in a minute if you keep telling me to get up and move.
You have to catch up with me first. You have to catch me. Good luck with that. Not yet.
I'm getting there, though.
Yeah, we'll see.
So the Gen X Talks Barbecue, August 31st, hosted by the Sun Valley Fox in St. Donna at the Foxhole in Minden. We filmed a video for it yesterday, which got all fucked up, and I didn't tell you.
Why?
Why didn't I tell you? Because you get mad.
Why did it get messed up?
Because YouTube's an asshole. Are you going to ask me how it got messed up?
How did it get messed up?
Funny you should ask. So we put together this video. The Briggs films this video, and it's a promo video, kind of a trailer for the barbecue, and we put it out everywhere, kind of as a link, as a thing to come back and see, and YouTube approves it.
Okay.
Like, okay, no bad content, no songs that are copyright protected. Go ahead. So once they do that, we put it out everywhere. On every link, every platform, everything. Then we go down the list of people that we know in our phones and we send them the direct link.
Okay.
So I'm waking up this morning to people going, your link doesn't work. Your link doesn't work. Your link doesn't work. I'm like, what the fuck? Go back over to YouTube. Now, after 12 hours has gone by, they decide, we don't mind the copyrighted song, but we don't permit copyrighted songs on a short that's longer than 60 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
And you went for 1 minute and 30 seconds. So either trim your video down to 1 minute or replace the song. So I'm like, God damn it. Now, even if I go fix this, I got to go back and re-upload this everywhere because everyone's got the old link now.
Yeah.
The good news is a lot of people saw it yesterday. The one that we uploaded to Facebook pages are still up. Instagram's still up.
I had to fix your Instagram one.
You didn't have to fix it.
Yes, I do.
The TikTok one is still up.
Instagram people.
X is still up. Everything's good there. But the YouTube one, the good news is a lot of people did view it, like 10,000 views on it before they pulled it. And then I went in there and it tells you YouTube's very good about saying this is exactly where the problem was. Now, I used our intro music for the podcast as the background music through the whole video. I helped Briggs edit that. And they said, the only part of the copyrighted material we found was at 1 minute and 57 seconds to 2 minutes and 8 seconds or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. That's at the end of the video. You picked up this. You actually could hear the song and complain for about 9 seconds. They didn't complain about the song being in the background or in the intro. They complained. So I went in there and I changed that 9 seconds to something else. And I re-uploaded it.
Oh my God.
So that's we'll see if that sticks. If it doesn't, we're fine. But yeah, the barbecue, we always make the mistake if we ever do a live in-person meet and greet. If we remember to make a promo video, a trailer,
right,
announcement video, they always sell out. Every time, every place we're going. When we forget to, we did one show in Reno where we didn't really promote it.
Right.
We didn't advertise it a lot. And instead of having 200 people, we had like 30. But this time I said, well, we need to make sure.
Oh yeah, I saw ticket sales jump a little bit.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Of this.
It's gonna sell out because of this. And people keep saying in the comment section, "Oh yeah, I'm going." I'm like, not if you don't buy a ticket pretty soon.
Buy a ticket to get
you're
into
not
the
going.
event.
You're not going. You won't. You're not coming. You're not going to be there. So, well, hopefully they'll pay attention to that. The next, we have to do like 2 more. Briggs says we have to do 2 more trailer videos, 2 more promos. One of them, I'm sure it'll be something along the line, if you don't buy a ticket, you're not going. You can't show up. There's no tickets at the door.
Right.
We have this closed off. We have security. You're not getting in. So don't drive all the way out here.
Look over the fence.
Yeah. But I mean, you got to get a ticket.
Stand in the middle of the desert.
Just buy the goddamn ticket and let's go. So yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
So we haven't talked about it. I know there's been things happening, moving and shaking, but can you give me an update on our house in Bakersfield?
The short version is we got it listed. I guess it was about 9 days ago. We had 3 offers the first 2 days. The first offer that came through, the realtor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want to submit something else to you.
Wow, again?
Yeah. When I got 3 offers like in the first 24 hours, and it came to my phone and I listened to the message, and GXMom's listening and she goes, well, are you going to call him back? I go, no. She goes, there's offers on the house. You're not gonna call him. The realtor, no, I'll call tomorrow. It was at night.
It was 4th of July, I think.
And you're like,
or the day before.
It was on the 3rd. He's like, just call him. I go, no, it's fine. And I didn't call him till the next morning around 9 or 10. And
playing hardball,
driving you nuts. You were wringing your hands, going, just fucking call him. And I like, nah, we're good. So the first offer, my realtor goes, well, it's like $20,000 low, and it's a contingency. He goes, what do you want to counter with? I go, just tell him no. And the realtor goes, well, yeah, okay, yeah, but it's correct. Real estate decorum, be polite. Even if you want to say full price, no contingency, let's at least counter with that. I go, I don't want to. Just tell the guy no. The answer is no. He goes, well, but what if he's willing to pay? Just tell him no.
If he's willing to pay, then he should have put that up first.
You got to tell the realtor, do you forget who works for who here? I'm telling you, no. So he goes, okay, he just told the guy no. Now, he's going to back channel to the other realtor. He's going to go, the official position is no. And when the other realtor goes, well, what's the counter? Our realtor is going to go, he said no.
There is no counter.
And why he's saying no is because you just insulted the guy. Now he's not going to sell you the house. You fucked up. So you're not getting it. And that's how he'll back channel. For those of you that don't know what a contingency is, I'm sure most of you do, but someone will come to buy your house and say, I want to buy your house, but first I have to sell mine. So I'm going to give you an offer for your house contingent upon the fact that mine sells. And if mine doesn't sell, then I'm not buying yours. Well,
that could be months.
Yeah, you could tie up yours and miss your whole season for selling because you tied your house up at escrow for 3 months and his deal fell through.
Right.
Which makes your deal fall through. I've seen those in the past go 9 contingencies deep. House on a house on a house on a house on a house. And it goes back 9 and all 9 houses have to sell.
No way.
Then it's like dominoes and they all get paid. Yeah, I've seen it do that.
No.
So the one offer, the guy, this was really impressive. The guy knows our realtor, so our realtor's now on both sides of the deal. He says, I want this guy's house. I want the Gen X Talks house right now. I'm going to list my house.
This weekend, right? He goes,
I'm going to list my house in 3 days. I'm going to list it for under fair market value, so it will sell, and I'm going to buy their house. I'll pay full price. But if my house doesn't sell, then I'm not moving. I love my house. I'm staying here. He literally said he's only selling it just to get our house.
That's awesome.
So
that's the person I want to have that house.
Yeah, that's a guy who's like into it. He's like, I want it so bad, and he wants to do this. So I said, okay, but the contingency had like a 17-day fuse. If he doesn't get an offer on his house in 17 days, then he can be at the back of the line. We'll entertain other offers. And if his does sell and it's still available, then he can reapply. But I said 17 days.
What made you say 17?
The realtor just picked it. I said, he goes, you can put a limit on it. And I go, like what? He goes, you can put a clock on it that he has to actually enter. He has to get an offer and enter escrow within like 17 days. I went, okay, 17 sounds good.
17 just sounded.
I don't know.
Did you pull that out your ass?
It just seemed good.
17 sounds like a good number.
It was a good number. You know what? Did you have a good year when you were 17 years old?
My softball number in high school was 18. You could have done 18.
How would I know what your softball number was?
Oh, you say all this. We went to school together. You should know all this stuff. You should know what.
You dated football players. You wanted nothing to do with me in high school.
And you didn't want anything to do with me either. Otherwise, you would have known my softball number.
Well, you were a little bit too goody-goody in high school. Just letting you know.
Okay.
So that's my thing. So we did accept the offer. He did get an offer on his house the first day.
Wow.
And the realtor
says... I wonder where this guy lives.
He lives over by Ridgeview High School.
Oh, okay.
And he said he got an offer the first day on his house, and we opened up escrow on our house. Now, like Billy the Kid said, there's many a slip between a cup and a lip.
That's true.
Things can go wrong, but for right now, we are receiving full price, and it looks like it's going to work. So we do once we get a timetable on it. Once we cross over where he can't say no anymore, it's like, okay, you did your house inspection, you looked at everything, now you're in it. You can't just change your mind for no reason. That's when we have to go get the cars out of there. That's when we got to drive down there and load up everything and try to come back. Or we got to get Loudwin out here with a big flatbed and put all the cars on his big semi at once, and then bring them back all in one load.
There you go.
So that's
now you're talking.
Yeah, so that's how that goes. That's where we're at. It looks like it's moving along quickly. We got ours really fast, and he got his really fast, and everything's good there. So yeah.
Do you?
Hello.
Stop making eyeballs at me.
I can't help it.
Oh, my goodness. Well, gosh, it's been a long time since we've done this. A kid update, maybe?
Jade's having a hard time because now that our other daughter's leaving California for Texas, she's literally just banking on the fact. Remember our millennial daughter that's married to the Marine from Camp Pendleton? They moved to Nebraska so he could do his tour of duty 3 years of as a recruiter. They're moving, the whole plan was 3 years in Nebraska, back to Pendleton. That's all they want to do is he wants to be back at Pendleton.
He loves it there.
He loves Pendleton.
Yes.
And she loves being part of the Southern California lifestyle. So the plan is always to move back. He's going to have his orders to move back, but that's still a year and a half away. Jade is just waiting for her sister to move home. She's not happy. She's, the house is being sold.
Plus she was told by the boyfriend that he's not moving. Right?
Yeah. So she's tough, but she's waiting for her sister to come back home. Then she'll feel not so abandoned.
Yeah, but she's also going through some hard times with the car situation and stuff too. It's just
tough, because.
But you know what? We've all had to deal with it.
Yeah, her car has to go into the shop to get fixed with insurance, but they're going to take 3 weeks. But she still has to go to work. She can't afford to rent a car. Rental car is not part of her policy, and her boyfriend rides a motorcycle at 4 a.m. to work every day, so she can't ride with him.
And it's a little Harley Davidson that she can't ride on the back.
Yeah, it's a little Sportster. It wouldn't fit her much anyway. And it's 40 miles to work on the freeway, and she wouldn't like going 40 miles on the back of a motorcycle at 4 a.m. because that's when he leaves.
Yeah, no.
She's tough. Briggs is doing well. Briggs loves being part of the community up here. He loves exploring Minden and Carson.
Loves going to his uncle and aunt's house because now he can just walk in. He doesn't even have to knock.
He just got a knock. He's never had an Uncle Joe.
And Donna goes, "Can I feed you?" Do you want some cookies?
Every time he goes over there, he gets fed.
Or there's cookies.
Yeah.
Fresh baked cookies.
There's always, he's loving this. So he's got an aunt and an uncle. He loves their dog. He loves going over there. He gets to vent to them about me.
Out he's got cousins.
So he's enjoying every bit of this. He just told me that he finished the last part of his paperwork for working for Ben Matlock.
Never lost a case.
Never lost a case. So that'll proceed quickly now, and we'll see what hours he gets. But it sounds like he's going to be working. There's a chance he could be working from 7 at night till 5 in the morning. That could be his shift. Because they're doing these big Tesla factories up here, these gigafactories, and they're working all shifts. And it's going to be a
drive.
Oh, yeah. All shifts, all times. So they run 3 shifts. They're scrambling for people.
But he'll be making some bank.
He will make some money. Yeah, I forget what Ben said they were starting him out at, and he's like, I'm going to make that much money to start? Yes.
Being somebody's bitch, but okay.
He's okay, I'll do whatever you say. You want to pick up scraps of wood, I'll do it. I don't care. He didn't care at all.
Nope, not at all.
Yep.
All right, well, we're going to round out our podcast with a car story this week. Do you have one?
You know what? I thought of something automotive delership related that you think was funny. Okay?
I probably have heard it. I've heard most of your stories.
You probably have, but the audience has not heard this one.
Okay.
When we were living and working in Bend, Oregon, there was a Chrysler dealership called Thomas Sales and Service. They sold Subarus and they sold Chryslers, Dodge, Chrysler, Plymouth, and Subarus. Well, the Subaru building was its own little building, and I worked on the Dodge side of it. And it was freezing cold up there in the winter times up in Bend. And so they had installed, and it wasn't super common back in this decade. It was like the early 90s. And they had installed used oil heaters. At a dealership, you run into a lot of used oil. You drain oil out of engines and transmissions all the time for stuff, and you just pour it in the waste oil, and they have to come pick it up. So they bought these big heaters, and they put them up in there, and you could run these heaters off of waste oil.
Interesting.
And they had a big sticker and says this heater is powered by recycled oil, and you didn't even really have to recycle it. You know, you ran it through a little bit of a filter system to get out, like, you don't want coolant in there. You get out as much as you can because sometimes there's other things mixed in with the oil. So it filtered out a little bit. It wasn't a seriously recycled thing. Just it cleaned up the oil enough where you could burn it. So there was these big black jugs. And if you collected these things, all the mechanics there, if you collected the oil, you'd pour them into these big black jugs, and then the lot porters or the oil changing kids would come around if they weren't busy, and they would gather these things up and go pour them in the heaters. And that was it. Then the heater did the rest, and it kept the shop warm all winter. So they got a new kid in there. And I remember one of the service advisors walking him around the dealership explaining, here's all the mechanics, here's all the bays, don't touch their tools, give them the keys when they ask you, bring cars, take cars away, because they're dirtier than you are. So if they tell you take this car out, get in and drive it out for them and bring them another car. And they'll ask you for stuff, just do what you're told. And then part of it was explaining, he says, like twice to 3 times a day, you need to fill the heaters. Grab the black jugs. And so he said, well, what do they run on? And he goes, well, these run on oil. They're oil heaters. And, these sometimes these jugs are full. If they're not, get the mechanics so they can top off these jugs for you, go fill them up. So we all knew how this worked. So this guy had been there probably 4 months, right through the winter. I mean, he got there right as winter was starting. And one day we're working, and I hear the service manager and the parts manager yelling at each other. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? They're right out in the service track, customers and everything. They're screaming at each other. And I'm like, all right, let me listen in a little bit. And they were arguing over missing parts from the parts department. Because every week they counted their parts meticulously. How many screws, how many light bulbs. They knew everything in their parts department where it was, if anything had left. And they were yelling about engine oil. Brand new engine oil.
Oh, no. And
I'm like, what the fuck is he? And the parts guy's going, I'm low hundreds and hundreds of gallons of engine oil from our, we had a big pump system, big tanks out back. You put the nozzle, that's how you filled up your oil. We didn't have bottles. And he goes, I'm missing hundreds and hundreds of gallons. You haven't charged any of it out. Service manager saying, I didn't use it. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No.
Yeah, the fucking kid was taking the overhead oil brand new.
Oh, no.
Filling up the fucking jugs, walking them to the back of the shop. And that's the only time we could see him.
You didn't see where he got it
No, I don't see where he's over at his oil rack doing. I wouldn't pay attention over there.
No.
Plus, there's a half wall. There's like a 5-foot half wall. I couldn't see what he was doing no matter what. None of us could.
No.
And for months, he's carting these big black jugs back there, pouring it into the heaters.
You're going, it's warm in here. We're good.
Yeah. And he was using brand new oil.
Oh, shit.
Because no one explained to him that it was used recycled oil that you're supposed to put in there.
That's on the service manager or whoever walked him around.
It's
and showed him.
well, the service manager going, you fucking idiot. The sign on the heater says recycled oil. He goes, what's recycled oil?
Yeah,
he didn't
exactly.
know. Even though the sign says so. It
was coming out of one thing and going to the other. That's recycled.
Complete circle coming through. And I remember the shop when we finally figured out what was going on. The shop was almost dead silent. No air tools, no nothing. We're like, oh my God, how fucking dumb are you? But that's like that other story from the lube rack where they had some kid there and it's like his second day on the job, and you open up you're gonna refill the truck with oil. You drain 7 quarts out, you put 7 quarts back in. So he goes to the valve cover and takes the lid off. No one told him to measure the oil coming out and use the dipstick. He just stuck the nozzle in the engine and went to-dunk, 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 to-dunk,
like
to-dunk,
filling it with gas.
He filled it all the way to the top of the engine. He put like 30 quarts of oil in there.
Oh, shit.
When you go to crank the engine over, it goes bloop, bloop. That was the noise the engine made when it rotated. Bloop, bloop. Yeah, he ruined that motor. He hydrolocked the motor.
No.
He bent a rod.
So who got in trouble about the recycled oil one?
I kind of think that one of the service advisors did. It wasn't the service manager. He was married to one of the owner's sisters. He wasn't going anywhere. Yeah, it's a small town in Oregon. He wasn't going anywhere. But the service advisor was the guy who was supposed to give him the walkthrough and train him and teach him and answer questions. And he didn't do a good enough job, and the kid never asked any questions. And so and they were going to dock someone's pay thousands of dollars.
Ouch.
For all the oil that was gone. But yeah, at least you know where it went. And I tried to make light of the service manager and I were friends, and I said, well, here's the good news. We just conducted a scientific experiment that no one would else bother trying to do. And he goes, what the fuck is that? I go, we now know that dirty oil burns about the same as clean oil. It really doesn't matter what it is, does it? We just learned that. We didn't use any more, any less. It was about the same. He goes, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Oh, how long have we been on? Go.
An hour. 5.
106. Look at you. That's pretty close. Well, we have another busy day. Today, Thursday, is our busiest day of the year.
Yes, it is.
We got a lot of stuff going on.
Busiest day of the year?
Every Thursday.
Of the week.
Of the year. Every Thursday, all year long.
Okay. Well, good.
Unless Thursday's on a Christmas. Then we take that day off. Take half a day off. So that's it. We're wrapping everything up. It was a good stream. It seemed like we recorded everything correctly. It looks like the video portion went through on Streamlabs. It looks like the audio portion on the PodTrack was good.
Oh, so you did record it this time.
Oh my God. I fucked up one time last night and I caught it. I still caught it.
Somebody's got to call you out. You call out everybody else's shit, so I have to call you out on yours.
That is not your job. You know what?
Yes, it is my job.
I recorded our marriage vows.
I wear a ring.
It doesn't say anywhere in our marriage vows.
What's my title? The Queen.
Oh,
what's your title?
God.
The General. You're below me. Kiss the ring.
I'm starting not to like you. Not even a little bit. All right, say goodnight, Gracie. It's time to get out of here.
Good night, Gracie.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Not sure where you're listening in from around the planet, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you tuned in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember 2 things in life. Number 1, wherever you go, there you are. Number 2, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I'm out, baby.
Bye-bye.
Life is